Time has flown, I will try to be as short as I can. First, let me say that when I say that this project was challenging, I was meaning that it has been quite difficult to find single best practices that were clearly referred to the problems that the Nemesi project was addressing. This meaning that we were trying to find the solutions and best practices in solving the main issue of skill shortages in two big sectors, but referred to the SMEs concept. And this has been quite challenging to find good examples. At the first time, we found many examples from abroad. We found examples from Ireland, for instance, from Australia, and so on. But when we concentrated and we focused on the real problem, we found good examples in Italy also, and that has been quite, a matter of pride for us. Since we are always talking about Italy, always following the others, instead we found many good examples on how maybe more the SMEs are trying to help themselves, each other, also by means of the associations, more than the institutions are trying to help the enterprises, SMEs or not. What we found in the latest workshop in Mainz was a good example of a company who built up a very good and effective system to retain people. High-skilled people. Is a green economy company, so we found a particular SME in a particular sector with particular features. Actually, it is a sort of a pearl, let me say, a diamond in this world. It was very difficult to find them. We found many good examples also from bigger companies when we're talking about, for example, from Eni, Enea as well, and so on. But finding something in the SMEs has been very challenging. Also, since the matter of this workshop is about unlocking financial and non-financial means to improve skills needs and identification and skills matching in the SMEs of the green economy and ICT sectors, it has been quite difficult to find in practice. We found one. This is okay, I will let the overview go. It's reading stuff, we can do it later. The Women at Work desk, Donne at Work, is the name of this desk, which has been organized in the municipality of Milan by different associations. I'll show you later. And the aim of the desk is creating a specialized database of professional profiles in the ICT sectors. The desk addresses any dimension of enterprises, of course, but mostly SMEs who suffer the shortage for ICT professionals, but it's particularly addressing gender issues. So it is mostly addressing gender issue and ICT women skill profiles. So it is dedicated mostly to women. What actually the desk aims at doing is creating a supply and offer connection for ICT, women ICT skills profiles. The desk has been launched in 2011. Actually, I had a problem in the second time when I was trying to find some good results. I mean statistics. I have statistics from the very earlier period, the first 6 months. These are the services, and after the first 4 to 6 months of work, the desk could collect about 600 curricula of ICT skilled professionals. All of them were women, and they began to match the skills with the needs of the enterprises who were also described in the who were registered at the desk services. Why did I create this desk? Beyond the dimension and the economic features of the sector, It has been observed by research conducted by Asintel, which is the ICT, the association, sorry, of ICT enterprises in Italy. It has been observed that two aspects. The first is that ICT professional women with ICT, high ICT professional skills are increasing. Women are mostly interested in enhancing their competencies in the ICT sector, as well as the other part of the study has shown that women in the ICT sector are paid less than male colleagues. So since this is a main issue, the desk also is trying to address this problem. What has happened since then is actually, I was trying to contact the desk. I still have no answer for them because I wanted some numbers. I wanted to give you some figures about what happened later. By the way, the expected, the activities that they were carrying out since the beginning is recruitment campaigns for companies, matching of professionals with the profiles demand, meet the candidates and perform guidances also for companies, but mostly for women asking the desk for a job, and then performing the selection on behalf of the enterprises. The main outcomes, these are expected outcomes, should be to increase employment of women in the ICT sector, matching skills and supply demand, and provide support enterprises to realize ICT skills matching, as well as providing guidance to women on how and where to increase competencies, ICT competencies and skills in order to find a job in that precise sector. As I said before, within the first months of operation, it was about the end of 2011, the desk has collected 600 curricula, so quite in a short period, because they made a sort of a quiet campaign of dissemination of the initiative. So, for example, mostly was directed to Northern Italy enterprises. And actually, what has happened then, we don't know, but the expected outcomes were these from the desk. We thought this can be a good practice for two main aspects. The first, because it's an effective example of how a good cooperation between institutions, in the private sector as well as the public sector, because many institutions are involved in the project, so can bring to the realization of a project that can be effective for boosting occupation as well as improving skills and matching skills and demand supply. The second aspect on our behalf is for the frame of the Nemesi project, since it is addressing a specific issue in a specific sector and it responds to the requirement of being a non-financial mean. We tried not to concentrate on financial means instead, because we found there are so many. We can talk about European funds, for example, the Small Business Act, and so on. But we prefer to find something that was non-financial in order to see what was happening when money is not actively circulating, and how instead it can produce occupation and address skill identification and skill needs identification. Thank you. If you have some questions.